So before we go, we have one last video, and it is their last straw, apparently. So this is from GrumpyEye. We have not watched a GrumpyEye video in a while because he's been out of the loop for a little while. He's had some personal things going on, and it's a bit of a bummer from that perspective, and I'm glad to see him back. But he is back with a video titled, I am done with Star Citizen. Or at least the thumbnail is. I wonder if it has to do with this PTU thing. Let's see.
Hey guys, so I gotta go. I gotta walk my dogs. I just finished the stream and I'm uploading this to my main channel, but the rest you can see on my second channel. And when I say the rest, it's like me talking to concierge, like Legatus, whatever, Navium player that has invested $25,000 into Star Citizen, and you gotta hear his thoughts on that. It was like a podcasty kind of a thing, but the whole video would last for like an hour and a half, so I had to cut it up.
He made an answer the call, is what I heard, basically.
Like, these are my thoughts, and on the second channel you can hear his thoughts. So let me roll the intro, and yeah, I'm angry.
Hello, my name is Grumpy.
He's grumpy.
For the last 4 years, we have changed the PTU wave system, which regulates who has access to the test servers and when. This doesn't sound right, but okay. What are they doing now? Over time, more and more players have gained access to various waves, which has ultimately led us away from our initial...
My last cry for attention, I hope SaltEMike watches. What a clown. Bro, come on. So, listen. I'm so sick of this mentality from people. You are looking as a YouTuber, and I got to move my camera, by the way, so while I'm doing that, I might as well say this. Maybe he went a little bit too clickbaity on the thumbnail and the title, but unfortunately, if every subscriber that you got watched your videos, he's got like 9,000, then you would never do anything like that, right? You would never have to. And it's very unfortunate that the YouTube algorithm forces you to do that kind of thing, is to be like, whoa, what is he so upset about? Let me watch the video and find out thing, right? So it's not anything that you just typed in Twitch chat is the reason why. It's like, you, as a YouTuber, you are unfortunately forced to play the game. You don't have to like the game, but you have to play the game. And that, it just sucks. That's what it is. You either, you got to play the game. You don't hate the player, hate the game, right? And that's the thing, is it's got nothing to do with Grumpy. It's got everything to do with YouTube.
Initial goals was testing waves. We have also come to notice that many players only log in once per PTU phase to briefly inspect the latest features or new ships before waiting for the live release.
Oh my God,
this
Zoc,
led us
what's up?
To very high player loads in the first hours of each wave release, combined with comparatively high server costs and download provisioning, whatever that is.
Thank you, Zoc.
But the sustained playtesting not the sustained playtesting we would have preferred. As a consequence, towards the end,
and I think that's like the most important thing, is people are not using the PTU in the way we would have liked. But the thing is I don't think they're recognizing that they are providing a suboptimal experience to playtest in. And that's why they're not getting what they want. It has nothing to do with who is in the test.
Of the PTU phase, we sometimes lacked the necessary numbers of testers to put the servers under pressure once the most significant bugs have been fixed. Now, we all knew this. So what did we do? It wasn't really a podcast, so first of all, I talked about this, I made a video about this, and I said that I was the first one that said the CAG should incentivize players to play in the PTU by giving them free shit. Let the guy with the most hours spent in the PTU or the most issue council reports, let him get a fucking LTI PTV. Doesn't matter.
And what you're going to get is suboptimal feedback and people only doing it to get the free stuff. Have we seen the guide system? My entire Discord was members of our Discord working together to get the guide system skins. I agree we need to incentivize better testing, but do you know how you incentivize actually good testing? You pay people to test them and test things like an actual testing company, and then you don't pay them when they don't do a good job, right? You fire people when they fail at their job. It's the idea that they have to use us to get to a point where these things happen. They have to use a proper QA to get to the point where we can just jump in and play, and then our feedback is valid. Where right now, their problem is that all of the major bugs, which is unplayable game-breaking bugs that their QA knows exist before we even ever get to them half the time, are still there. And they don't fix them. And they keep putting in patches with the game-breaking bugs still not resolved. And then get mad when they don't have the sustained playtesting. How the fuck is that my fault? I am so sorry that I don't feel like playing this bad experience for the 5th day in a row with a high BWin bug or with the ASOP terminals not working. You have to fix those things so we can properly playtest for you and provide feedback. That's so valued, right?
The second guy, or the second prize, would be like a skin. The third prize would be like 1 million alpha UEC. The fourth prize would be like 500 million alpha UEC, or whatever. That's what I said. So after that,
I just don't think that's the best solution, but it's better.
I'm going to say a podcast basically with what was it? Star Streams and Lauguns was there, and we talked about that. And after that, Lauguns made the video, basically the same one that I did. And then after that, Eradicator made a video, basically the same. Like the only difference was the prizes, because everybody it's just like. I wanted more.
Yeah, everybody values
the other
more
people
things.
Were, maybe more thoughtful of CAG. Oh my god, that was fucking loud.
That was very loud.
That happened like an hour ago. But thank you, Fate, for subscribing on Jesus Christ. That's so loud. So I need to change that again.
Yes, please.
So what happened is that CAG has contacted me, some of them, the developers. If you were in my streams before, you would probably know who I talked to. So you invited me to come to Dogma, but then realized you're streaming. I don't even know what Dogma is, but sure. So they asked me to send them the ideas, and I actually made a Spectrum post before I made a video. So I made a video, Spectrum post, Eradicator made a video, Lauguns made a video, Starstreams fucking promoted the whole thing on his podcast, and all of that shit. They asked me to hear out, to see how. Thank you, Fate, for a gifted sub.
Bro, loud alerts are
this
so
is
cancer.
So fucking loud. At least on my end, it's so it's a.
Oh no, it's loud on our end too. This is. Do you now know why I mute alerts and all those things, guys? This is why. It's not because I don't care about you, but it's because it's brutal.
Obnoxiously.
It takes
loud,
away from
honestly.
your thought process and everything.
It's fine, Fate. So in the end, I've sent them the links of all of the videos, of the Spectrum post, of all of the ideas of how to incentivize players to play in the PTU. But what did they do? Let's continue with the post. For this reason, the team has decided to restructure the PTU's waves to focus on player activity. Now, the more often you play and the more experienced and familiar you are with the game and its mechanics, the earlier we'll invite you to enter the PTU. Sure, that sounds, I mean, fine, even though like most people don't really play the game. So what are you gonna do? You're just gonna like invite people. You're gonna like see how much time they played, and you're gonna invite them like by looking at that. Like that stat is bullshit because they can just be AFK. First of all, secondly, they could be just and they're probably mostly just miners and cargo haulers. So what are they gonna test out? Are they gonna like test out the PvP? They're not. So.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the bigger problems. But on top of that, you do have to remember what they just wrote is that they're hoping that they're more experienced and more understanding of the game and its mechanics. So, and what they mean by that is not actually the game and its mechanics, but the workarounds of the little bugs in order to get to the big bugs that they're trying to smash there, I think. And I think that is a valid point of view from Star Citizen is hours played does indicate that if you're able to play this many hours, you have an understanding of the experience. You're a little bit more, you have a little bit more attrition and you can keep going and test more or something like that. So I kind of get where they're coming from, but I absolutely agree with Grumpy is, well, now what you're going to get is a bunch of AFKers in patches to make sure they get into Wave 1 or something.
Was the fucking point. So let's continue. To support this and the players that would like to access the PTU, we will review the activity-based wave.
Yeah.
Where are we?
Damocles.
Location several times.
A system like his would need to be about the quality and usefulness of bug reports, not the quantity. Yeah. So it wouldn't be like giving rewards for playing. It would be giving rewards for testing. And that's the thing is if you reward people for, you know, the most times, you know, giving feedback on specific focus testing or whatever, right? I think that would probably be a better scenario than what Grumpy maybe suggested. I don't know why I might have reacted to it or something, but I don't think I saw that video. And that's sort of where I am with things.
A year to ensure we have the most active testers within the first waves. So if you have following the developments more from the sidelines recently, don't worry. Hop back into the pilot seat as future activity will lead to earlier PTU access in a relatively short time.
But the thing is not if you're taking a percentage. So sure, you jumping back in now, you won't be able to catch up to people who've been playing 3.18 forever, right? No way. No shot.
Naturally, we also want to continue to open the door for everyone that has supported us. Now we're getting to the fucking meat of the thing.
Sorry, let me fix this.
For this reason, we will continue to accommodate subscribers in the various concierge levels throughout the new Wave program. We're looking forward to this new approach as together we'll gain even more data from the PTU phases and as a result, a better experience on the live servers in the long run. Below you will find the new restructured waves of the PTU. Now you might be wondering, what the fuck? Like, we were talking about incentivizing people, but what are you fucking talking about? What? What? So let's talk about incentive.
I'm curious. Does Grumpy know that they actually have incentivized, but they did it in Evocati and not in the PTU waves? Maybe. Like, I think they actually took his idea and ran with it.
So this is the incentive. Evocati test flight group, whatever, hand-selected players under a non-disclosure agreement, very experienced volunteer testers chosen based on the long-term profession of constructive feedback, quantity and quality of bug reports.
You're missing nothing.
Overall activity. I can tell you right now that I know a bunch of like streamers, YouTubers, etc. that are in Evocati that don't report shit, that they're like not playing Evocati. And if they're like...
And I know when he says that, he's talking about me. Because I've mentioned that before. I have not been able to test Evocati until this I guess 318. And I've tested more now in the last few months than I have in the last few years. But I remain in Evocati for the wrong reasons. And I will continue to say this. I am in Evocati to be prepared for Wave 1 and to know everything and how it works in Wave 1. Have I utilized it and used it enough until 318, 319? No. So like probably from 315 till through 317, I wasn't able to play because I was just grinded down to into a pulp with work and streaming and YouTube and all that stuff. Is just too much. I couldn't add testing on top of it. But this now, it's a totally different story. I mean, I did the complete opposite, but I know he's talking about me and maybe a few others. But for sure, I've been very open with why I'm in Evocati.
Not just like streamers and YouTubers. I know people that are in Evocati, they don't fucking play it or report shit. And if they are honest enough, they will tell you that, yeah, this is true.
They need to kick
now,
people from
let's
Evo.
talk about the waves.
If I get kicked, I get
kicked. So
kicked.
this is the incentive that CAG has given us. Wave 1. Top active players rated by hours in the previous 2 major patch cycles. So this is an issue because, as I've said, these people could be just AFK, or they can just be like cargo hauling, or they can be mining. And that's like focusing on one profession that takes a lot of time, and they're not going to test out everything.
Well, the thing is so I don't agree with that, because the thing is if you would imagine you're going to get a good sound round clump of people that some are cargo hauling, some are mining, some are doing bounties. Everybody does their own things. And, to be honest, there's plenty of PvPers giving feedback, so we don't need any more there. They're the most dedicated, active community. I think the PvP community is in a pretty good place. But I do agree from them stating that it's active by hours. What you're going to get now is exactly what Grumpy is saying. But I think up to this point, they're probably in the right of they're going to get a good mix, and which means you're going to get a number of feedback areas that are being handled. But not anymore. You're going to get these AFKers, and that's it.
Wave 1. But sure. The next one is subscribers. The next one is the Legatus, Nevium, or whatever, concierge level backers. Are you fucking serious? So, I have spent a bit less than $1,000 of my own money and almost $6,000 of your guys' money for like buying ships, for giveaways, blah, blah, blah. So, there's like $6,000 on my account on the fucking website. I cannot get into Wave 1 unless I pay $10 for subscription.
Because you don't play. Here's the thing that I struggle with, though, is if you don't play, but you paid, why do we feel entitled to get into Wave 1? Because other people are paying to get into it and are able to get into it that paid more. That's the one thing for me, which is where, like, we talked about this on my podcast just before this, is there's lots of better ways to do it, and the way they're doing it now maybe isn't the best. Oh no, this is bad. So Disco Lando just raided with a party of 99 people. And Lando, we're talking, unfortunately, about the PTU waves. But I hope you're having so much fun with Baldur's Gate. And that's basically the comments that we're going to be making here, is that everybody should be enjoying games like Baldur's Gate right now if they are not enjoying Star Citizen. So I'm going to take it full circle, is if you're not enjoying Star Citizen and you're not going to be an active tester, why should you be in Wave 1 in the first place? There's an argument there for that. I think a lottery system or something like that that we discussed earlier might have been a better choice. But what if you choose the lottery and nobody shows up from that won that lottery? Do you go to the next people and the next people and the next people? I don't know. So yeah, I just think the thing about subscribers is they're gonna get that's the big kicker there.
Or unless I have $25,000 invested into the fucking game.
He's
Really?
mad.
So this like scratches off a bunch of YouTubers that are not like hardcore masturbating fans
Oh
of,
my
of
God,
Star Citizen,
no.
right? They're not just like jerking off. So the only thing that you can do is like spend $10 every fucking 3 months or whenever they do a PTU release.
Or because nearly every content creator at the initial wave of Evocati had every ability to be in it, but chose not to because they wanted to leak the information for views and for money. They didn't want to be held down by an NDA to do the right thing for the game that they cared about, that they care about. So there's that as well, right? Every single one of us had the opportunity to be in Evocati and get instant Wave 1 access, but they don't want to because they want to leak Evocati for views, because it's the only time they ever get views is when they're making content that other people aren't able to make because they respect the NDA. I bet you I can make Evocati patch notes videos right now and would not be removed from Evo based off of just the absolute lack of care that this company seems to care about that specific NDA, right? Because they don't enforce anything around it. But I don't do it because I don't need to. And I would much rather respect the NDA and the fact that I'm in a test environment that is, a great place to give feedback, and it's the only time the issue council isn't a disaster, right? But I will go back to the PTU environments, Evo, and through the initial waves, not even just Wave 1, but beyond, they're not testable they're not good enough to be a testable environment in terms of feedback. They're just A/B testing whether or not something works half the time, and that's not a good experience.
Right?
And they wonder why they don't have
incentive
the
was
concurrency.
to spend more money. That's how they fucking read the emails and all the shit that they fucking send them. In all the videos that they saw on YouTube and all the Twitch streamers that were talking about incentivizing the people, the players, they saw it as, oh yeah, we can incentivize them to spend more money. That's how we do it. Big brain. So Wave 2 is next.
Again, I do not agree that this is a money-making scheme for Star Citizen. This is a not losing money-making scheme for subscribers, because the subscriber flare is, I like some of it, I don't like some of it, right? So that's not doing it enough. And the original thing was you're subscribing to make the video content better. But I think we all know by now that there's no way that, they just have like a dedicated account for Jared to spend from the subscriber bank, right? They're just, doing, Jared's got his salary, his guys have their salary. They make videos out of a spaceship now. They have good cameras and stuff like that. Maybe the subscriber money covers that exclusively. Maybe it doesn't, but I don't think it really matters. They're doing what they think is right to make the content that they want to make, and that's it, right? End of story. I don't think we can tie subscriber money to ISC anymore, or SCL or anything like that. I don't think that really makes sense. So I think they know that a lot of people subscribe to get into the Wave 1 or the early waves, and if they remove that perk, they would lose a significant amount of subscribers. So it's not necessarily to make money, but it's not to lose and bleed more money than they technically are now with the way this year has been. Both bad, but I just would phrase it differently personally.
Stop active players rated by hours in the previous 2 major patch cycles and Praetorian concierge level backers. I'm still not there. I'm
throwing down $25K for Wave 1 access after this change. Me too, brother.
There.
Me too.
I'm not in Wave 2 because Praetorian is like 15,000, right? Legatus is 50,000. Great. So I don't fucking know. Let me actually open it. I'm like Space Marshal or whatever the fucking
I have no idea what I'm
thing
at.
is that they like named. It's like I'm so fucking angry about this, honestly, and I fucking waited for the stream today just to unleash.
Hold on, you're
So, yeah,
64% of the way to Wing Commander, though.
I'm currently Space Marshal. I'm not even Wing Commander, my dude. 6,000. So, Praetorian Concierge level backers. Wave 3. Next top. Who the fuck decides this? This is so shit.
Yeah, what is the percentage? You know, I don't think they need to tell us, but they're probably just doing it based off of a percentage.
So wave 3 is probably the spot where most of the PvPers are going to be. Wing Commander, Space Marshal, and the Grand Admiral Concierge level backers. That's me. But you guys that have spent like $200, you're still not there. And then you have wave 4. Next top active players, High Admiral, Concierge level backers. I think.
Oh my God, he's wave 4. Oh no, he's wave 3. There you
this
go.
is like $1,000. So you're still not there. And then you have wave 5, all backers with an active game package. So
Now, the one thing that they said is that they might do multiple waves per day, which is a weird concept to me. But okay, you know, so there's that. But how does that work? And yeah, I don't know.
So the only way, like wave 5 is gonna like last for a day or 2 days if it's even there.
Yeah,
And then
wave 5 will be the last day or two before they push to live.
gonna release it. So if you want to play in the fucking PTU, if you want to actually test out the game that you like, if you want to test out the ship that you fucking bought with real money, if you want to like get it now and check it out, if you want to tell them, hey, there's something wrong when my hull sees whatever elevator,
Then they would have already been doing it with the current game, most likely. The argument he's making about the specific ship that you purchased, I think, is the only valid argument around this. Is I don't, you know, none of the ships that have come out I've purchased, but man, the Hull C, I really want to test that and make sure it's perfect because I'm so excited for it. Maybe that's a valid argument. I'll give him that.
whatever. It just doesn't work. If you're the only one that would like figure that out and make an issue council report on that, well, tough luck. If you're not paying $10 for subscription, that's not going to happen. So, good job, CAG. Good fucking job, CAG, on incentivizing the players to play in the fucking PTU and to do everything fucking backwards. Everything fucking backwards and make a fucking ass of yourselves.
Bro, does everybody forget that they were doing it backwards from the beginning? Like, that's the thing. Is everybody forgetting that wave 1 was Evo members that were already testing already and already burned out? And then subscribers and concierge, people who don't fucking play the game. Are we not forgetting that? 95% of the people getting into wave 1 did not play the game more than a couple hours maximum. Are we just going to ignore that? So taking away from the people who weren't doing any value at all to testing, we're just going to ignore, right? That's the thing that I'm not saying this is good. I'm agreeing with most of what Grumpy is saying, but at the same time, they weren't giving any value to the testing environment. Now, you got to ask your question. You got to ask the question, why? Is it because wave 1 is such a mess and unplayable? Most likely. So do you blame them, right? Here's an important question. Is time spent in-game access to Wave 1 P2 relative to how many people play? So if a patch is very popular, I have to play more? Yeah, we don't know, dude. Like, that's the other thing is just really, you know, it's their level of communication that is just absolute god tier. So you don't even know where you stand. There's no way to know if you're getting into Wave 1 or not. Even if it was like, are you a quality tester? Are you going to have a bunch of people? Are you going to pay a bunch of people at CIG with backer money to decide who gets into these waves? That's a huge waste of money too. I don't know. And what I really think, and what I've been saying for the last little while now, is that your internal QA department has to get the build in a state that is at wave 3 or higher before it ever goes to wave 1. Wave 1 needs to be wave 3 level of stability, features actually in the patch, and ready for feedback. I can no longer look at a fucking patch note that says wave 1 thing is in the game, but we are not taking feedback on it. Are you fucking kidding me? What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? Why are we here? I am not here to fix your bugs. We're here to provide feedback in most cases, right? Like, you can be like, hey, this thing is a little buggy, but completely broken and not ready for feedback? Come on.
And be as greedy as fucking EA and all the other, like, Activision Blizzard and all the other fucking developers. Greedy motherfuckers. That's what you are. So I am done.
Yeah, we're here to play
defending,
test,
like,
not be
right
QA.
now.
There's
Right
a
now on my
difference.
channel, there's a premiere of a video of a podcast of me defending the game and saying that the game is not paid to win. The fuck is this shit? I am done defending this game. Ever. Like, when I saw this, I was like, yeah, I'm this fucking close.
He's a
to selling
potty
my
mouth.
account.
You watch this channel.
So if you have there's like 1,000 referrals. So more than 1,000, like 11 fucking hundred or whatever.
I have 200 referrals.
So if you want to buy the account, because I have the Area 18 plus like 6,000 bucks
Ooh, be careful, dude. Isn't selling your account TOS?
invested, a bunch of fucking ships. If you want to buy the account from me, just hit me up on my community Discord. Send me like how much money would you spend, and yeah, we can fucking talk about it. Honestly, you feel rewarded, Jim Flag, dude, my dude. You were supposed to fight against the greedy publishers, not join them. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's a very good point. Is you were supposed to be different. This is not only different, this is worse than what a normal publisher would do. Significantly worse, right?
This is fucking horseshit. Honestly. This is fucking horseshit. So, whenever you want to test out, like, if you want to try your ship that you paid for, like, what is it? Hull C is
Danger, I
$350 or
timed you
whatever.
out.
If you want to try it
Have
out
some
and you
respect
have it,
for
but you're
people.
not,
You don't have to agree with their
haven't
opinions.
spent fucking $50,000 or more
See you in
than
10 minutes.
that on the game. Tough luck, you gotta pay $10 more to fucking try it out in the PTU, or wait for a month or maybe even fucking 3 months, because you never know how long the PTU is gonna fucking last. So you can actually fly your fucking.
I hope I would lead by example here with some of you guys in Twitch chat. I'm not agreeing with everything Grumpy is saying, but I am not being disrespectful towards his opinions and views.
Ship.
I'm finishing and then.
Don't do it, Grumpy. Dude, if I get a good offer, I'm doing it. I don't fucking care anymore. Honestly. This
Yikes.
This shit. And you know what? Have you noticed that they do shit like this every time before CitizenCon, and then CitizenCon happens, and everybody's like, "Ah, yeah, they're actually doing something." And then like CitizenCon passes, and you
What is he referencing here? What I'm not sure what he even means by this.
have like a year of nothing. Because like,
Yeah, all this because we can't test an Alpha Wave 1 that's literally unplayable anyway. Like, jeez,
what was
guys,
last
come on.
CitizenCon? It was fucking a master modes, and that's the only actually like the only actual thing that we're gonna get in
And here's the thing, is if I was in Grumpy's position where I'm a content creator and I'm not going to get into Wave 1, I would be upset too, probably. But I wouldn't be upset to the point where the $10 investment is worth being able to make content for the game, right? So I just invest the money like I would invest in Adobe Premiere to make YouTube videos, right? You don't have to, I don't agree with it. I think it's terrible, but I would still do it.
320, but in Arena Commander. All of the
But again, as a creator, you probably don't want wave 1 for testing purposes. You want wave 1 of making content for your streams to make money off of, right? Or whatever, right? Just to have fun. A lot of people stream just for fun. I mostly stream for fun, but I definitely stream as a business as well, right? But I mostly do it for fun. If I really wanted to do it as a business, I'd run an ad right now or something. But I don't do that because I want you guys to have fun, and I want to have fun with you guys in the Twitch chat. So, but I definitely want Wave 1 access specifically for one reason and one reason alone. Content. That's why I want Wave 1 access. I do my testing and my feedback in Evo and a little bit in Wave 1 when I run into a few things, but my main focus in Wave 1 is content.
The other shit that they showed, nothing. Nada.
But yeah, exclamation point
What are we
giveaway in
talking
chat for the
What the fuck are we
sponsor
talking about?
that we have
What
right
is
now.
this? Like, is this a game anymore? Yeah, it's a game of fucking how to get into your wallet even more. This,
And he's not wrong about that.
no, like this doesn't roll with me, honestly. And you can see by the reaction of like how many comments do they have? 900 fucking replies. You can see by the comments that people are fucking pissed off. And let me see what J3PT is saying here. What the fuck am I doing? J3PT.
Dude, J3PT is probably the most popular content creator on Spectrum.
All right. Or you could just play more often and you'll be fine in the first waves. It's literally outlined why they did it. They want people who actually play and will constantly log into the PTU to test to have access.
I'm sorry, J3PT W. Actual W.
Dude, you have some like hardcore fans like that, but most of them are not. Most of them are fucking not.
Which is why they've been kicked out of Wave 1. And you are also kicked out of Wave 1. And I would be kicked out of Wave 1 if I didn't subscribe or if I wasn't in Evo. Because I don't play enough. I would absolutely be kicked out of it.
And most of them are the people that are actually going to test the shit out of your game. Like,
J3PT is
what
actually
is this
Salty
shit?
Mike.
Do I have
exposed?
to? Do I have to fucking play broken pieces of shit patch that is live for fucking
That's
like
the point.
all the time?
That's the point. If you didn't hear what he just said, do I have to play a lot of the broken live patch in order to get into Wave 1? Well, first off, if you don't like live, why would you like Wave 1? So there's that. But again, he's a content creator, so he wants to get into Wave 1 because that's where all of our money is made, is in Wave 1. To be completely transparent, every content creator makes all their money in Wave 1, not in live. Okay? But the issue is that the live experience isn't treated like a live service enough. And the Wave 1, 2, and 3 are still slamming features in, making it more unstable and and creating more bugs than fixing them sometimes. A lot of the time, I would say. So there's so many things that to grab from, and what he says is super valid. Why should I have to play a bad live in order to get into Wave 1? Well, live shouldn't be bad, and Wave 1 should not be as bad as it is. Right? We should not be slamming in features last minute. And let me tell you something. What I love about this Evo Kadi cycle currently is I feel like we would have been in wave 1 already, and for some reason they're not. And I am very currently happy with the amount of time they're taking, because I really hope that this is a new initiative to go along with these changes, that when we come to wave 1, they're ready for wave 1 level feedback. That's what I'm hoping. I'm fingers crossed. It is. There's almost no chance that that's the case, but I would, fingers crossed, in a perfect world, that's what would be happening here, but I really don't think so.
Just sit there and be miserable the whole time just to get fucking access to PTU.
Does Grumpy even play SC? Do you need to? Like, does anybody play SC now? Right? And the people who do you really want them providing the feedback? Right? Like, the people who play all the time, at day in and day out, in a game in the state that it's in, are those the people that you want to be listening to for feedback on the game? I'm not entirely sure. You want them providing feedback, but if you're only listening to them, they are content with a completely non-game. There's no game. So what do you do? What do you do? You're getting feedback from people who are totally content with delivery missions the way they are, mining the way it was. Or, I gave that example of the developer that I talked to. And it's not the developer that just typed in Twitch chat, to be perfectly clear. I said who the developer was, who pointed out that I didn't mind very much, yet I had all these things to say. Well, I don't mind because the current experience is not enjoyable, and that's my feedback. So to say he doesn't play and to invalidate any feedback that he says because he doesn't play isn't fair either, because he doesn't play because he has given feedback and none of that feedback has been actioned, and the experience still isn't enjoyable enough for him. That's okay to feel that way. And you shouldn't invalidate people who feel that way because you don't, or whatever, right? Because you play day in and day out. I'm sorry, but my point of view is I'm looking at you and you go, and I go, you're okay with this? You enjoy this? What's wrong with you? I don't want to get feedback from you. There's part of it is that, right? That being said, CIG in the game is in a better place than it's ever been.
He's like one of the worst fucking white knights ever.
He's literally not, though. Like, this is a good take, and I think he's actually got some fairly good takes lately. So I think the algorithm is changing in his robot.
Maybe the first step from them to activate subscription model to play live. Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Every experience I've ever had is you have a live experience that is treated like a live experience. You have a PTU to test the features that are coming in, and it's up to people whether or not they want to go and join it, because the QA has already done its job. Where CIG's QA, I don't know what they do, and I don't know how to. You don't want to shit on QA because they have a very difficult job. Most games aren't super spread out. Most games don't have the insane amount of features that CIG is trying to make. It's probably, not even counting the hundreds of ships that are in game, this game is probably impossible to QA. Right? Which is why they utilize us. But the thing that I can't accept is when we are in wave 1 and we still do not have the feature in the game that is on the roadmap as committed. That's what I cannot accept.
It might be. So all of the shit that I said that I'm scared of in the podcast that is currently running on the main channel on YouTube, as in, maybe they're gonna monetize skill points. Maybe they're gonna monetize upgrading your NPC crew and all of that. All of that shit might
we are QA? Yeah.
Like, might be true because they just, like, constantly.
What's wrong with testing one feature at a time? Because you're testing the patch. And when you add the feature, we all know at this point by watching Jared's content to know that as you're adding features in, you're creating more instability potentially into the build. So when you go from testing elevators to testing mining, well, it's potential. There's a potential that the team that brought the mining into the build has created new bugs. So we need to get a wave one where everything is in. We share all the bugs. We share all the feedback. They fix. It improves. And it improves over time. Obviously, sometimes bug fixes create more bugs, right? We know that as well through watching all the content over the years. But at least we're not creating more instability, or it's just not a better experience, right? You should not be adding features while wave one is happening. No way. And Bismarck is another developer from another studio.
A way how to fucking get money out of your wallet.
And again, I don't agree with Grumpy on this at all. It's not about making money.
It's fucking crazy.
It is not.
Exactly. Grumpy players get frustrated.
It's not about making new concierge members.
There for years. They wait until the bug is fixed before they play. Exactly. So what? I have to play in the fucking PU, get killed every time I step on a fucking planet, and get killed every fucking time that I call an elevator, and do it fucking every day for the rest of my life so I can fucking play in the PTU, maybe. Because I don't fucking believe
it's not even a guarantee.
The active players are actually going to get anything. I'm pretty sure that everybody's going to just subscribe. Because that's the fucking point of the whole thing here.
They will gain subscribers from this, though. He's right. But I don't think that's not even pay to the intention.
It's not even pay to win. Like, this is actually pay to play for a thing that you've already fucking paid for.
Yeah.
Unless you paid $50,000 or whatever, then.
But at the same time, you don't have to pay for the later waves. It's the incessant FOMO to be in wave one that is very understandable from somebody like Grumpy, but not understandable for me from other concierge members who clearly aren't playing in the first place. 95% of them play for like an hour, they check out the ship and they leave. So that's the number. Like, they literally gave us the numbers. And Grumpy's standpoint, I get where it's coming from. The other people, I don't.
You can play, yeah. You can test it out.
Grumpy now has to pay $10 to make content in wave one.
And also, like, spreading people out like this, these guys are not going to test shit. They're just going to be there and admire their A90 jumps or whatever. Maybe, but they can do that in the PU, so why would they go there?
Which has been proven.
Like, the reason of why people are not playing in the PTU is because there's a PU. And it's more than likely like less broken than the PTU at the same time. Like when they're like running in power.
It's because there's not enough gameplay to keep you. There's not enough in the patch also to keep you engaged with the PTU for how long the PTU waves are up. That's a whole nother aspect of it, right? So people like making a little bit of progress in live, but even then, they probably have a huge fall off in concurrency after a certain period of time. But the PTU probably has significant fall off because there's just not enough new shit to engage with. You're not going down this whole huge new quest line, right? Most of the time. I think in recent patches, there's been like PES, which is sort of testable. The mining changes have been, I'm still learning the mining changes, and they're bringing new ones in that are going to change everything again, right? So it's like there is stuff, but there's not.
Overall, right? So instead of incentivizing people to report issues on the issue council and test out the PTU, they basically just like make them play in the PU. I'm sure as fuck not going to play the PTU. Honestly, I just want to sell my account at this point. I don't
he needs
fucking
to
care.
stop saying that.
I don't care
shit.
what happens with the channel. I don't fucking care what happens with the YouTube, the Twitch, the fucking everything.
Okay.
I don't care. Just like fucking get me out of this, honestly.
Damn. That ended in a way I wasn't expecting. But I don't blame him. Do you blame him? To some extent, no. You know? Does Grumpy need a middleman? I might know a guy. Jesus Christ. But yeah, it's just, I think there's going to be a better way. I think they're going to figure it out by hearing all this feedback to be like, ooh, yeah, we dropped the ball on that. Maybe we could do things a little bit better. Or they will do the classic CIG thing and just continue to double down on their genuinely bad ideas. But again, I will continue to argue that this is a better idea than where we are right now. So I'm going to let them cook a little bit, and hopefully they let it cook a little bit longer than just this, and they keep adding to this and make it a little bit better. The only problem here is the subscriber thing, and they will never change that, and that sucks. And that sucks. And that was his main focus in the video, and I think that that should be everyone's main focus, is that's terrible, right? That's absolutely terrible, and it sucks, and it's never going to change, right? Because it's not about testing purposes if it's $10 a month to test. It just isn't. It's not only about it, at least, right? Get subs out of wave one. And guess what? You're going to lose all your subs. Good. Then provide an experience for subscribers. You know why I don't have a Patreon on this channel, guys? And do you know why I don't push YouTube members? Because I don't feel like I'm providing anything of value to them. A good Patreon does what? They give you exclusive content. They give you, they make like little pins and art and all these extra things for their concierge members or for their Patreon members. You know what I mean? That's what those sort of platforms, that's how they create value for them, is they go a little bit above and beyond. I don't want to do that. I don't have enough time for that. If you want to support me, then you support me, but you don't get anything extra. Okay? You subscribe here on YouTube or on Twitch if you want. You can subscribe on YouTube. I get a better split than I do on Twitch. So you could do that there. And that's it. It just comes down to, hey, I've been watching this guy for a while. Let me throw him a few dollars, and I want to support him because I spend a lot of time here. That's how I look at it. Right? But I am not going any further than that because I don't have time. Right? And that's it. And CIG is using the PTU as providing value for their subscribers. Seems pretty bad to me. Maybe make some actual things of value. And then you'll keep your subscribers. But they don't care. Because they're going to continue to get the money through the PTU. Ducky, thank you. And I will keep the change, you filthy animal.